Hey guys, it's Fairy Truths, and as you can tell by the title of this video, yep, this is another fairy spell. This is actually the spell that we did in my school. I was in fairy school, so this is like the real deal. Our professors and everything helped us with this spell, and this was one of the first spells that we learned. And I'm sharing it with you guys, so let's get started with the ingredients. So the first thing you'll need is something to mix, and I'm just using this cup, and there's water in here. You need a good amount of water. I filled it up to about this much. You'll also need fairy dust. You will need baby's breath. You will need some type of stone jewel, something like that. I have a few of these. You'll need a few of them if they're small. So I have a good amount of these little jewels here. You need one candle. You need something waxy. So I'm using this EOS lip balm because it is waxy substance. And you also need something oily, so I chose to use argan oil, and this has mostly natural ingredients, but there are some artificial ingredients, so I would try to get something with as many natural ingredients as possible. Just it works better that way, but this does have some artificial ingredients in it, as well as I'm sure that this does as well, but again, like I said, it's not a huge deal. And the last thing you'll need is a penny or a bronze coin. If you don't have pennies, just a bronze coin. So the first thing that you need to do is take the little baby's breath and put each individual flower into your water. So I'm just going to do that right now. This is what my mixture looks like at the moment. Next, I need a few drops of fairy dust. So I'm just taking it on a Q-tip and pouring it in. And I have about that much in there. By the way, there's no specific order to do all this in, so as long as you get all the ingredients in the correct amounts, there's no like order or anything. But the next ingredient is the oil, and I'm just going to take my oil and I'm going to do a couple drops of that. And now my mixture looks like this. Next, you're going to take your jewels or your stones or whatever you use, and you're going to drop them in one by one. It might splatter everywhere. That's okay. And yep, so I used 3, and they're going to sink to the bottom. That's perfectly fine. Next, you want to take your coin, and you want to just drop that in there as well. It keeps splashing on me. Next, I have about this much wax, and I'm just going to drop that into the mixture. Make sure you get it in the water. It's being difficult. Okay, all good. And you're just gonna grab something to stir with. I literally just found a candy cane, so I'm gonna use that. And you just wanna stir thoroughly. Make sure you get everything in the water. And the waxy substance isn't gonna mix very well, so you just kind of have to try and get it to get as small as possible. And it's going to be chunky, but that's what we're going for. So it's okay if it's a little bit chunky. And I'm mixing. Sorry I didn't use a clear cup. I could not find one, so stuck with this. But yep, so that is my mixture, and now I'm going to get on to the spell process. So I'll tell you the chant in just a minute, but you're going to need your fairy dust again. You're going to take a pinch of that, and you're just going to hold it in your hand as you say the chant. You're also going to be holding your potion, which is full of ingredients. And this spell is fairy to be, wings to grow, help the world for the better. It doesn't rhyme. Chants don't always have to rhyme. They just have to be made for the spell. I don't really know how to explain it, but they don't have to rhyme, and this one doesn't. So fairy to be, wings to grow, help the world for the better. You want to say this 5 times while you're holding it in your fairy dust. And then you're going to take your candle and you're going to light it. And then once it's lit, you're going to say the spell 5 more times. Then you're going to blow out your candle and you're going to blow the fairy dust. Oh, forgot to say, you might want to do this outside because it's a little bit messy. And then you want to take your mixture. You want to dump out your mixture. It's better to dump it out into the earth. But, I mean, if you want to dump it into the sink, it doesn't really matter. But I just prefer to dump it into the ground outside. It's a lot easier and cleaner. And then you can wash out the cup or whatever you need to do. But yeah, you just dump it out. Make sure all your stuff is in place. And this transformation is actually quite a long one. I believe they said it is about 2 months to fully transform, and you slowly get side effects throughout those 2 months. And the side effects are generally the same as my fairy spell, so there's not much difference there. You just get them very slower and more spread out over time. So 2 months for that to work. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say. I don't know what else to say, so I think I'm going to end this video. But if you try the spell, let me know how it goes for you. And again, this is just a general fairy spell, nothing special. The auras are not really applicable to this spell. It really doesn't matter what fairy dust you use. It just gives you general fairy abilities. So that would be flying. You can cast a few spells that you can figure out. You kind of get a little bit from each aura, so that's something cool. But yeah, this is just a very general, basic fairy spell, so I hope you liked it. And if you did, please leave a comment and let me know what you think. And yeah, thank you for watching, and bye!